Hey guys, welcome back to The Sims 4 Vampires. We are here, back in Forgotten Hollow, because Cat has given Bellatrix a very important assignment. To finally take down Bellatrix Davenport. Adelaide has already defeated Marcos, leaving Bellatrix as the only Davenport left to stop. And straight away, almost immediately, greeted with Bellatrix. So, we're not going to stop for any fancy stuff, we're just going to get straight into it. Adelaide's want this done as quick as possible. For those who don't remember, in episode 2, all the way back then, Marcos was at a karaoke bar and lost to Adelaide 2-3. And they're doing it right out in the front before everyone. As if Adelaide almost wants to show all of Forgotten Hollow that she is back with a vengeance. So it seems like she's gotten off to a strong start. And I do these battles best 2 out of 3. And she has won the first battle. And that is a milestone complete. So, she's on her final milestone. Read the Ultimate Vampire Tome, which she is currently reading. Become a Grandmaster. That's still quite a way, as well as survive for an additional 20 days as a vampire. So, the only way she will achieve this is 2 things. If she takes 20 more sim days before the final battle, or within the 20 days, the final battle occurs and Adelaide comes out alive. As I said in a previous episode, I am still open with the idea of Adelaide losing and being killed, and or any of her allies or family members to die, be kidnapped like Luella currently is. Everything's still an open book. The pages have yet to be written. I'm still open to many ideas. So, we'll only just have to see whether or not Adelaide reaches this. But that was the first duel done. Going straight on to the second.
Aha, Branka.
Spooked out. Okay. So. It seems to be going just as it did the last fight. And, indeed, Bellatrix has been defeated. And Adelaide comes out the victor. Which means 2-2 win. Adelaide is the victor. And so neither Bellatrix or Marcos is strong enough to defeat Adelaide. That makes her confident enough that they are no longer a threat. She may come back and deal with them if, when she wins, they do not accept her for whatever decision she decides to do afterwards. I would also just like to mention this house they live in, that hasn't particularly been explored. Oh, what's in here? Arts room. This house was taken from the gallery. I believe it's called Raven Tower. For those who want to find it. Let me open my library and quickly look. So it's called Raven's Roost, and it's built by a player called Lively. That's Livele. Hope I'm pronouncing that correct. But we shall not be staying here. We'll be going to other areas of Forgotten Hollow while we're here. And it seems very interesting. That gravestone almost looked like it was glowing. And we have the Bat Cave. But, interesting enough, 6 a mosquito trap. Now, she is preparing to gather the ingredients required for her. And we have some bills. 3,952 simoleons. Okay. So she will go and pay them in a moment. But she's going to harvest from that plasma fruit tree because she wants to begin gathering. She can have this at Wolfbane as well. Gathering things for her concoctions, because she's more than ready. What's that? That's garlic, so we're going to harvest some of that as well, because that is sure to be a part of the curing concoction. I can only imagine. I'd be quite surprised if it's not. But she's just going to quickly come around. We're quickly just going to have a look and see what we can find. There's Wolfbane in here, which we can harvest, and the mosquito trap, which we yet to harvest. Who do we have here? This is Lilith. She is a fellow vampire. And we're not going to interfere. The Vitor family haven't seemed to have taken any affair in this war. They did move out, so they're no longer in the firing lines, which means there should be no reason for them to participate in this war. Kira Hug. For a moment I stood thinking whether or not this was Cat. It's a good thing it's not. But I wonder if she's a vampire. Nope, she's not a vampire. But it's early. We're gonna quickly come back and harvest that. So the sun will be coming up soon. It does come up later in Forgotten Hollow than it does in comparison to the other towns, but I believe that happens at just gone 6 AM, so I cannot believe it going later than 7, possibly 8, which means she needs to think whether or not to return back to her home, or to go back and report to Hello Floating Crow, or to return back to Cat at the cave. I believe she will last long enough to get inside the cave, but whether or not she wants to, of course, going back to her allies, Sophia and Alicia, is a viable option. Alicia should have had her baby by now. Adelaide spent a lot of time there. She was in her 3rd trimester when Adelaide left, so she has most likely had the baby by now. So I'm gonna go take her to one of those 3 destinations, and I'll be back with you in a moment. We are back, and Adelaide chose to return to Cat in the cave. Now, she still needs to continue on her training. She still needs access to that book. So, it is a perfectly acceptable option. She collected 30 wolfsbane and 10 plasma fruit while in Forgotten Hollow. We don't know how much she will need to make the necessary concoctions, because she doesn't know the recipe yet. But if she is making one for every council member, Vlad is a council member,
Bubrona,
both Raphael and Viola Sorrel. She has maxed the skill just as we speak. Discover Ultimate Vampire Cure. Adelaide has learned the Ultimate Vampire Cure secret, how to cure vampirism. She can now make the Ultimate Vampire Cure on the bar. There is nothing else for Adelaide to learn about vampires. So, just straight like that, she has mastered that. She does not need to continue on reading. And I'm actually just going to read what's written on the epitaph of Cat's coffin. But that did happen quicker than I was expected. So she is going to do a bit of meditating, a few stretches, and combat against Cat one more time, just to see if she can do it in this episode. Now, she did
No.
the epitaph appears to read, Cat Cave lies within. So I wonder whether or not she actually is. So if we quickly nap, and she's not, so we're just gonna come straight out, do some meditating. Cat's currently playing chess. So if Adelaide does more meditating to see what moves she should make in the future before taking on Cat Cave one last time. Now, defeating Bellatrix was a good move. It means one of the families in Forgotten Hollow have been taken down, they have been bested. Whether that's permanently or temporarily, we have yet to know. However, neither of them are on the Vampire Council, so that is not a major victory, but a victory nonetheless. So Adelaide is one step further. She did return home for a quick point, seeing she was in Forgotten Hollow, realised her mother wasn't home, so is beginning to question where she is. Now she's gonna, after meditating, she's gonna ask Kat if Kat could begin looking into where her mum is, whether she was literally just out of the house at that time, whether or not she has gone missing. That is something she is going to do. Now she found her yen, but that seemed to be off-pointed. She is hot-headed, so perhaps her inner anger and her hatred is preventing her from getting that clear yen feeling that meditation acquires. Her mother, although hasn't mastered it, is very good at finding herself. Adelaide seems to be trying again, and it appears she's able to do it now. Probably only for a short period of time, but hopefully it's long enough for her to get either a vision or an epiphany or something to help her on her quest. So she's going to do that for a couple of more minutes. She doesn't have clear, that's not what I was looking at. Well, she is level 5 in wellness, level 4 in writing, 1 nearly 2 at video gaming, not that that's actually going to be helpful at all. She's mastered vampire lore, she's 5 in singing, 1 in mixology, so the mixology skill we may need to increase. I have no idea how that influences the concoctions. It may not influence at all. 2 at mischief, which is rather low for a vampire. Both her mother and father are higher at mischief. 3 at logic for herbalism. 2 at gardening because she started growing wolfsbane, the mosquito trap, and garlic in her garden, well, at home, because she's more than aware that she will need them for these concoctions. She does know the concoction recipes, so she does know that she will need them. So she started growing them to begin collecting, to get out, so she has a supply. After she defeats Kat, she will be returning back to live in her mansion and only return back here to Newcrest for specific visits at the cave to get advice from Kat or to visit her allies. But she's also then level 5 at fitness, which she hasn't done any of really, and 2 at comedy, 4 at charisma. So she doesn't exactly have the comedic skills or the charisma skills to talk herself out of a situation. But you're going to stop meditating and talk. Talk to Kat. I don't know when she achieves it in the wellness skill, but she will eventually obtain the ability her mother has to teleport to locations. Although that is almost the exact same thing that the bat does, but it should still be very good to use. Now if I remember correctly from Vampiric's spa
Gaunim, clevite grinia.
in here, it'll come up saying there's no room.
Bretino,
But
friffa, flazzle
just for the
vilpa.
guys who don't know,
Amy?
she has the additional Always Welcome
Girl
and
Panda?
Night Owl. But now that I
Samzo, huh?
mentioned that, she has 3,000, she could get something else. So if we go all the way to the top, Savant we don't have enough for. Super Green Thumb we don't have enough for, but we won't need anyway. She doesn't have a job, she doesn't sleep, she doesn't eat. Great Kiss isn't helpful, neither is Fertile because she can have neither. Connections, she's not going to have a career. No longer tense, she isn't tense very often, so that's not something we need to worry about. Hygiene's not a big issue either. Ghouling isn't something she's thinking about at the moment. She doesn't need to use a bathroom. She's never really embarrassed, so that's not something she needs. Social, something we could do. That could also counteract the hissing if we take on that weakness. Incredibly friendly, she's not exactly the best thing, but that could prove helpful getting allies, but we don't need allies at the moment. Frugal, that reminds me we still need to pay the bills, because the bills still haven't been paid. So it doesn't seem the fact that there's anything more that she would necessarily need. We could get Morning Sim. That's not something she'll necessarily need though. So we're actually just going to leave it for now.
New beam. Shorg.
Yeah, as expected, it came up saying the fact that there is no room to spar. So if you recall your moral life, we will return to the cave, well, the top of the cave, for hopefully the final time. She needs to feed, that cannot be helpful. For what may possibly be her, let's change out of this. No, don't form group. To hopefully spar cat one very last time.
Perno oops. With a charm.
She has one more pack,
Rafa.
so if she drinks from that before doing her
Uskarafa.
spa, that would be very good, but they're currently showing off their powers. It's daytime, and Newcrest doesn't seem to be very active. You have Jay there, the two in there. Is that Sim? No, that's not Sim. Yes, so this area of Newcrest seems to be quite empty. So we have Dolores there, and we have Alexander there, both residents of Newcrest. And then we have Summer, Miko, and Maya there as well. So I hadn't seen Summer in a very long time, but interesting. Ooh. So Adelaide's angry, so we shall see how that does with the spa. So let's spa.
Canathoy
Uncle Limpo.
and Fabi.
They are in position, but I'm going to end the episode here, right at the pivotal cliffhanger, just to see how the spa will turn out. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.